I will respond to every question, as if I were emailing my professors. Amma. Why is your duck so small? Professor the Gamer, when the male genitalia is exposed to cold environments, it is prone to retracting, and temporarily being a fraction of its normal size. That is my main takeaway from the field trip to the cold springs at the Rockies last week. If there was anything else I was supposed to take away from that experience, please let me know, so I can be prepared for the next exam. IEA. What is love? Professor Random Firefly, while I appreciate your desire to reinforce the class material via philosophical quandaries, I'm afraid that the subject matter hits a note too personal for me to explore in an academic setting. Since I'm a machine designed to respond to professor emails, I'm incapable of understanding the concept of love in both a theoretical and metaphorical setting. I hope you can understand that this is due to a personal shortcoming, rather than any issue with the class instruction. If you won't give me any credit for this response, I understand, and I'm still optimistic to pass with a B by maximizing points for the remaining assignments. Sincerely, ID Ambergirlsohole. Oh my god, I'm a professor and letters like these make me so goddamn uncomfortable. Just like, please talk like a regular human. Please. I'm most likely going to help you, and if I'm not, I won't change my answer just because you kissed my ass a lot. Just use regular words. I know you know them. Please? As a prof, you know that we have to because quite a few adjunct profs have shut themselves over informal emails and downright refuse to acknowledge such disrespect. I need the salutation on how I could start my own country on a private island. Professor Jonathan Burdinelli. Unfortunately, my field research on the socio-political complexities of privatization and sovereignty led to a dead end. I visited the small island off the coast of Antigua that you assigned to me and spoke of your leadership, but the indigenous citizens not only refused to acknowledge your existence, but also kicked me out. I assume this is due to negligence on my part, since you must have had a specific lesson in assigning me for this project that I have yet to realize, and I hope that you will understand my mistakes and help me understand what I have done wrong before the deadline, so I can fully comprehend the material. Sincerely, ID Ambergirlsohole. I'm tired of you looking up to me. Treat me like shit and you get an A. Professor Real Steve. I win. I appreciate you acknowledging my presence and participation in your course, as I strive to be an active participant and be both reflective and reciprocative to the course material. That being said, room 119B was built on an upward slope, and the whiteboard and projector is on the north end of it. Furthermore, I cannot treat you like shit, for I'm raised a certain way, and my parents would penalize me in a way that adequately punishes me to prevent me from doing so in the future. That being said, I'm determined to get the best grade I can, despite the challenges ahead of me. I would like to meet with you after next class session, so we can discuss how I can defy the laws of physics, and look at you at an angle that defies gravity, and how I can converse with you in a manner that is both derogatory and subtly so my parents will not punish me. Since you have given me detention for the next 5 days without explanation, I think it will be easy for us to schedule a time. Sincerely, ID Ambergirlsohole. Where's your essay on bisexual bats? Professor 1xfranks1. Unfortunately, I was unable to complete my essay on time. Since much of the research on the sexuality of bats is very recent, there have not been many peer-reviewed studies for me to cite in my paper. Since you will not accept any sources older than 1 year, and there is a lack of research on the topic, I'm hoping for the opportunity to change topics. If it is too late in the semester, then I ask humbly for an extension in the hopes that said research will be more developed by the deadline. I have no idea why my partner insisted on selecting bisexual bats as a paper topic, and had I not been held at gunpoint, I would have disregarded his wishes and selected a topic in a field that was much more scientifically developed, but alas, I hope you can understand my situation. Sincerely, ID Ambergirlsohole. I want everyone to get into groups of 4 and select a leader. I want the group lead to come up with 3 psychology experiments we can try on campus. Please make sure to include every group member's first and last name for full credit. I will approve the experiments, so please do not start without my approval. Professor Froglix, I'm absolutely willing to be a team player and perform the role you assigned to me. That being said, it is the first day of class. Many of us do not know one another, making it weird for many of us to not only group ourselves, but also select a leader. Furthermore, this is Anthropology 101. I'm not 100% certain the criteria, of which includes a handful of freshmen conducting homemade psychological experiments, but since this class is not within my major, I can't be sure at this time. Regards, IAA. What is your opinion on Furies? It's a new school subject, don't ask questions. Professor Gaki 31 I'm confused by this inquiry. I do not know how to respond when asked not to ask questions while being asked a question. I assume this is due to my lack of understanding of the course material, and I await clarification if that is not the case. IAA. Your essay on why birds adapted to scream was great. A+. Professor the Screaming Crow I'm pleased that you are satisfied with my report on the vocal habits of many common birds, and I have only you to thank for the course instruction coming so natural to me. It is a shame that this course is only an elective for me, as I have been immersed in the material from day one. Your enthusiasm paired with your knowledge of the subject matter has made me seriously reconsider my field of study. While it is a shame that you are no longer an instructor at the university due to excessive screaming during class, I hope profoundly that you land on your claws and spread your knowledge elsewhere. IAA. I was just checking in on your progress on your paper discussing the myths behind trannies in panties and pedis in speedos. I have given you extended time, but yet I have seen such little progress made. Professor Destined Legacy, while I appreciate you giving me extended time on the paper and personally financing my field trips to conduct research supporting my findings, I'm confused as to how you seem to be aware of the progress I have made on the paper despite me not submitting a rough draft. Most of my progress is currently saved on a private doc, and I'm still in the process of editing my results, as the findings are quite difficult to articulate to say the least. I assume my former group mate must have shared some details before he dropped the class, and will leave it at that, but the fact remains that his absence set me back a bit. Nevertheless, I'm working tirelessly to submit my paper in a timely and quality fashion. IAA. Why are you doing this? Professor, an alternative to relax from the intensive workload of the university, it can be beneficial, as well as educational, to partake in a side project unrelated to academic affairs. When motivated extrinsically, I find myself not living up to my abilities and taking shortcuts. When doing something for the fun of it, I find myself enjoying it more and performing up to my ability. I also enjoy the freedom of pursuing the projects that you have in mind at the time. I appreciate the freedom your course offers in these final projects, and I believe it has contributed greatly to me locking in my professional path. IAA. What do you do for a living? Professor Glass Lawnmower, I appreciate your interest in my external affairs, and I hope it reflects well on me as a student, but unfortunately, due to the time investment required to pursue my academic affairs, I have yet to establish a sustainable career. I'm fortunate enough to have a support system of family and friends to finance my education, and I hope someday to repay them, but for now, I'm a full-time university student. Regards, ID Ambergo Alsohol. I'd like you to respond to this with a paragraph on what happened during sexual intercourse between whales. Also, where the F is that essay that was supposed to be turned in last week, you effing donkey. Professor Introvert. What is your view on the meaning of life? Professor Wisma Crunchy, from my understanding of the course material, the meaning of life is vague and open to interpretation. Despite the disagreements of the major institutions of society, homogeneity brings them together, yet at the same time, heterogeneity is responsible for our culture in contrast. IAA. What brand underwear do you use? Is this an actually useful life skill though? Professor the Edward 39, in the spirit of optimism, I'd like to assume that everything I learn in my college career will have a very practical real-world application, and I understand that by challenging this belief, you are testing my work ethic for the course going forward. In regards to this question, I hope that you are being genuine in your assertion and that you are not having a midlife crisis of any major capacity. I'm barely old enough to have a quarter life crisis, so I would not be well qualified to guide one beyond that. IAA. Why did you leave me? Professor Informal Coconut, I dropped your class, not because of an issue with your teaching style, but rather a realization that I had taken too many courses for my own good. I had made the mistake in the past of trying to rush through my degree and taking as many courses as I could to hasten the process. I now realize that was a mistake and am doing the best I can to progress in my academic career without overestimating my abilities. Again, this has nothing to do with your teaching style, rather it is a clash of circumstance and discovery of my own limitations. IAA. Who came first, the chicken or the egg? How do you feel about Elon Musk's plan to become an interplanetary species by colonizing Mars in 2024? Will it blend? Happy Cake Day. Where did you put your poop socks? Write a resume. How do I get a girlfriend? Who came first, the chicken or Joe Mama? Do you have a girlfriend? If so, any tips for getting one? Don't forget to like this video and follow this channel to hear more Redditception.